we will move to types of attention. So according to Ross, attention is branched into two main categories. Can you able to understand me? Is it okay?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I'm understanding
Okay.
whatever you're saying.
So this attention is branched into two main categories. I'm teaching about these types of attention. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
And in this non-volition means involuntary, aroused
Okay.
without effort or will. That is the non-volitional or involuntary attention.
Okay.
Non-volitional means here environmental captures you with no effort.
Okay. Okay.
And next one is the volitional means voluntary. That means you captured the environment, high effort.
Okay.
Okay. And here
Hello. Hello. Yes, ma'am. There's a lot of
yeah.
disturbance.
Yeah, even no power my side also.
Okay.
Yeah. So here non-volition means involuntary, and here comes enforcement triggered by instincts. For example, a mother reacting to a crying child.
Oh.
Okay, and spontaneous means here triggered by established sentiments or interests. And here volition means voluntary, requires conscious effort and exercised well. And in this, we'll say implicit and explicit. So a signal, implicit means here a single act of will. For example, deciding to listen. We want to concentrate on one thing, that is deciding to listen. That is the implicit behavior. And explicit means repeated acts of will to stay focused. For example, if you are studying for an examination, so only one time if you are studying, you are not going to write properly, right? So you have to focus so many times for the preparation. So that is a continuous focus should be there for the preparation of your examination. That is the explicit. Yeah, please wait.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. Wait, this is not moving. Next slide. Next slide. Actually, my children are helping me.
Okay, ma'am. I'll wait, ma'am.
Madam, after class, you can end the class.
Yeah. This non-volitional initial attention, and the volitional attention is divided into implicit attention and explicit attention. Amrita,
Okay. Yes.
Vishal. Hello.
Yes, ma'am. I can hear you, ma'am. Hello.
Huh? Devendra.
Yes, ma'am. I can hear.
Hello. Yeah, Amrita.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Sound slow. Hello. Next slide and go. Yeah.
Yes.
So types of attention we have done with it, and next we will move to determinants of attention. So why do some things grab our attention more than others? Amrita?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yeah. Determinants of attention. Next point.
Okay, ma'am.
So in this, we are going to cover nature and intensity, contrast and change, repetition and movement. So here nature and intensity means pictures. Stops. Change is often more powerful than size or intensity. Then here repetition means repeating a point in a lecture helps secure it in the audience mind. So if you are repeating, it will go into the audience mind. And movement means moving object, like blinking neon signs catch the eye faster than static ones.
So we have to focus on determinants means nature, intensity, size also it matters.
Okay, ma'am.
So not all stimuli are equal. For example, a colorful picture or a photo of a person will attract your eyes much faster than a block of plain text. And intensity means humans are naturally drawn to strong stimuli. A loud bang, a very bright light, or a strong smell will always capture attention faster than a whisper or a faint scent. And the size also it will matters. Like a large poster is more likely to be noticed than a smaller one. And contrast and change also. We notice when a ticking clock stops, change is often more powerful than size or intensity. In case అది ఈవెన్ తక్కువ ఇంటెన్సిటీ సౌండ్ లో ఉన్నా కూడా మోగుతున్నంతసేపు మనకేమీ అనిపించదు. అది స్టాప్ అయిన తర్వాత we can notice the difference.
Yes, yes.
And the power of change means here we can often stop noticing things that stay the same. You might not notice the tickling of a wall clock until suddenly stops. The sudden silence is change that grabs your attention. And the contrast, repetition also will be there. Repeating a point in a lecture helps secure it in the audience mind. And in practice, this is why a teacher repeats the most important parts of the lecture to ensure the audience attention is directed to the most valuable points. And here moving of the stimulus means survival instinct. We are biologically programmed to be sensitive to things that move in our field of vision. For example, a moving electric sign is far more effective at catching a customer eye than a static or unmoving sign. And here interest means we naturally attend to things we enjoy. The mother of attention. Interest is the mother of attention. Subjective factors are rooted in the mental state of the perceiver. They act as personal filter for the world. Here in this interest, again, 3 points we can add. That is the principle. We naturally attend to object or activities that we find interesting. For example, you might easily focus on a TV serial or a movie because the subject matter aligns with your interest. Okay. And the social impact here is in a large gathering. If people start discussing a topic you love, your attention is instantly captured and you feel compelled to participate. Okay. And motives here are basic needs like hunger or thirst, direct or focus. For example, a hungry child spotting food. Motives and basic needs. Basic needs are like driving factors, focus. Our fundamental biological needs like hunger, thirst, curiosity heavily dictate what we notice. For example, we can take a hungry child will spot eatables in the room full of toys much faster than a child who has just eaten.
Yes.
సో ఆకలిగా ఉన్నవాడు ఐటమ్స్ అన్ని కూడా రిలేటెడ్ టు ఫుడ్ మాత్రమే ఫోకస్ చేస్తూ ఉంటాడు. ఆల్రెడీ తినేసిన వాళ్ళు అప్పుడు దే కెన్ ఫోకస్ ఆన్ ద టాయ్స్.
Yes.
So here even mood also matters. If you are angry, you are more likely to notice the small mistakes of others. Mood మంచిగా ఉన్నప్పుడు ఈవెన్ పెద్ద పెద్ద మిస్టేక్స్ కూడా మనం
Ignored.
చేస్తాము, క్షమించేసేస్తాం, unnoticed చేసేస్తాం. If you are angry means you'll notice even a single mistakes of others. Mood and attitudes. Emotional filtering. So interest we have done, motives we have done, and mindset. Okay, emotional filtering. Our current emotion change how we perceive the world. And then negative shift means here, if you are in a angry or disturbed mood, you become highly sensitive to the small mistakes or fault of those around you. And attitudes, having a favorable or unfavorable attitude towards a person or subject determines how much attention you are willing to give them. Okay, we are done with moods and attitudes also. Then next we are moving to key phenomena of attention. So span of attention is one thing, and division of attention is there, distraction is there, fluctuation is there. Here, these are the phenomena factors of attention. So here, span of attention means the number of items one can grasp in a fraction of time, usually 4 to 5 digits or letters. In a fraction of time, how much you are giving your attention, how much you are going to remember that one. So even we have in the psychology laboratory span of attention experiment. So in that we will do digits or numbers or a group of dots or meaningful syllables or meaningless syllables. Okay. So in a fraction of second, how many you are going to remember, we will check in that experiment. That is a span of attention. We explored the phenomena of attention, which describes natural limits and behaviors of our focus. These concepts explain why we can only take in so much at once and why our minds inevitably flicker. The phenomena of attention are based on two factors: how long we can attend to something, that is a duration, and how well we can attend to it, that is a degree of attention. Okay. So the span of attention refers to the total number of items like letters, digits, or sounds that an individual can grasp in a very short period of time. So here limit is researcher using an instrument called stethoscope, which shows that most people can only grasp 4 to 5 digits or letters at a single glance. Meaningful material means we can remember more if the items make sense. If it is like former, you can remember it. Okay. If it is like nonsense syllables, there is no meaning in that, means you can't remember when compared to the former. Then if they are random nonsense syllables or digits. In real world, we use this why car license plate are usually restricted to only 4 digits. It matches the human span of attention. Right?
Yes.
So car license numbers. So we can remember that easily.
Easily.
Then comes division of attention. Division of attention means here attempting 2 tasks at once. Usually equally drops unless one task is mechanical. So this is an attempt to attend more than one act at the same time. Shifting, non-splitting. In many cases, we aren't actually dividing our attention. We are either shifting focus rapidly between 2 tasks or performing one task automatically while focusing on the other. So one of the experiments we'll conduct in the psychological laboratory in division of attention. In with right hand, you are supposed to draw one circle. with left hand, you have to draw one rectangle at the same time.
Same.
Spontaneously, you have to do. That is a division of attention.
Okay.
Okay. And one should be mechanical. If right hand, if we can draw, because we are usually write or draw the things with right hand, but we are not
Yes,
using
yes.
the left hand, right?
Yes.
Routine activities like tailoring, stitching while talking are almost mechanical and don't require full attention. And the cost is like in technical or difficult jobs, attempting to divide attention usually results in a drop in both quality and quantity. Okay. And the next point here is a distraction. When a powerful external stimuli pulls focus away from the primary task, that is a distraction. Distraction happens when a more powerful external stimulus pulls your focus away from your current task and holds it there. That is a distraction. And here shift is while reading a book, a sudden burst of attractive music may shift your focus. Okay. And the result is like you may still be physically looking at the book, but you are no longer registering or following the content of the book. So here fluctuation happens. Fluctuation means high and low values.
Yes.
It's not showing a particular result.
Yes.
It is fluctuating. The shift of focus that happens every few seconds, we cannot focus on a single point indefinitely. That is the fluctuation point. Our attention is not a steady beam. It naturally flickers or shifts. So short shift means we cannot concentrate on a single stimulus for more than a few seconds at a time. And the phenomena here is after a few seconds, attention shifts to another area or stimulus for a fraction of time before returning to the original. For this, we will use this visual test. This is famously seen in ambiguous figures, like the drawing of a woman, where your brain fluctuates between seeing an old woman and a young lady alternatively. Yeah. So summary and conclusion. So we can say that the attention is a gateway to perception. Attention is not just a passive experience, but an active regulatory system of the mind. A prerequisite is here, attention is a central process. It must happen before perception can occur. So first it will come attention, then sensation, then perception. This is a serial order. And tuner, we have learned what is tuner, and whatever of the consciousness, we are able to perceive it clearly and reach our desired goal. It is influenced by both the environment, external factors, and as well personal state, that is the internal factor. A dual influence system means here what's a tug of war between two forces, like high intensity bright attention towards them. And internal factors is our mind, our personal interest, basic motives like hunger, mindset, moods push us to look for specific things. So understanding these limits like span of fatigue can help us improve our concentration and learning. So mastering our limits, how to master our limits? By understanding the phenomena of attention, we can better manage our mental energy. So like respect the span. We know our brain can only grasp 4 to 5 items at once. So we should avoid overwhelming ourselves with too much data. Okay, and acknowledge fatigue. Sustained attention on monotonous tasks leads to central fatigue in the brain, which causes errors. And the focus over division means here true multitasking is a myth for complex tasks. The brain is a serial process that handles one difficult task at a time. So we have done with the attention chapter.
Yes.
Any queries or doubts, ma'am?
No, ma'am. No doubts, ma'am.
Hello.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, yes, ma'am. I can hear you. Ma'am.
Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am. You're audible.
Yeah. Shall I move to the next one?
Yes, yes, ma'am. Yes.
Because 10 more minutes are there. 40 minutes or 10 more minutes?
40 minutes, ma'am. Class is full.
How much time
Class
is
is
there?
till 8, ma'am.
40 minutes.
Yes, ma'am. 40 minutes.
Yeah. 40 minutes is
Yes.
still left, right? Yeah. Your attention is. Hello.
Hello.
Can you
Ma'am.
focus more than 40 minutes now?
Sure, ma'am. Yeah, I can. I have no problem, ma'am.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Yeah. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Your next chapter is perception.
Perception.
Perception. So we can't cover full unit today, this one. So we'll see
Okay.
how much we can cover within this 40 minutes.
Sure, sure, ma'am.
So introduction to perception. Perception is a process that takes sense of a raw data our senses collect. While our eyes see light, and it's our perception that tells us we are looking at the red car or hearing music. The world around us, we live in a 3D world of shapes, colors, and forms. We are constantly surrounded by a three-dimensional world filled with objects of various shapes, sizes, and colors. To survive and navigate this environment, we must be able to accurately identify and interact with these objects. So here, the big question is, how do we construct a world of reality from the raw information received by our sense organs? So our 10 sense organs, 8 external like vision and touch, and 2 internal like balance, constantly gather information. Given here, perception is a dynamic psychological process responding for attending to, organizing, and interpreting sensory data. Here the problem is the information reaching our brain is just raw electrical signals. And the solution here is our brain must construct a meaningful world from these signals. For example, if two people are on a hillside, one might perceive it as a cold, but put on a sweater, while the other perceives it as a warm and takes their off. Their different behaviors are based on their individual perception of the same reality. So this is an example we can take, and perception is a dynamic psychological process that handles three main tasks, that is attending, organizing, and interpreting. These are the four concepts of perception. Attending means here selecting which sensory data to focus on, and organizing means arranging that data into pattern or groups, and interpreting means assigning meaning to those patterns so we can understand what is based on our past experience. So how we are judging here? We are seeing an object and we are interpreting that means with the past experience. We are having past experience with that object is telling. And the core concept is here past experience.
Okay.
Perception is not just about what happened right now. It is an interpretation of the present stimulus based on our past experiences. For example, a child who has never seen one, even in photos, will see a large gray shape, but won't be able to perceive it as it is an elephant because they lack the past experience to interpret it. You understood this example?
Yes, yes, ma'am. Hello.
If he knows that if it is not seen means you can say that it's a large and gray shaped one animal. He can't identify like it is an elephant.
Elephant.
Then now we are moving to the sensation versus perception. While often used interchangeably, as a single event, your brain actually treats them as a multi-step relay race. Think of it as it is difference between a sensor and a storyteller. Like light, sound, etc. by our sense organs. And finally, interpretation, that is perception by the brain.
Hello.
So how does it work? Transducers and can understand.
Hello. Hello.
And the experience Just loudness.
Hello.
Bright
Hello.
brightness or is scan.
Hello.
Hello.
Ma'am, the connection is getting really bad. It's getting cut every 5.
Yeah, Amrita.
I'm having connection
Connection?
problems, ma'am. I'm not able to hear you.
Okay. PPT?
Ma'am, I've just sent you a message.
Can you able to see my PPT?
Oh, no, ma'am. I'm not able to see that.
Yeah. How it is now?
It is little
No?
better now, ma'am, but it is getting cut every every
Okay.
2 minutes. So yes, ma'am.
Voice is breaking, huh?
అవును
Voice
అవును
break
మ్యామ్ కట్
అవుతుందా?
అయిపోతుంది ఎవ్రీ 2 minutes కి ఒకసారి మీరు చెప్పేసి సడన్ కట్ అయిపోతుంది.
అవునా? Okay. Because it's raining, no? That's why you can able to hear me?
ఎస్ మ్యామ్ బట్ ఫర్ ఎవ్రీ 1 or 2 minutes సడన్ గా కట్ అయిపోతుంది నాకు వినిపించట్లేదు.
Yeah,
ఆడియో కట్ అయిపోతుంది.
because of weather condition, it may be.
ఎస్.
Okay, we will stop by some slides. Okay,
ఓకే మ్యామ్.
tomorrow we can continue.
షూర్.
I'll continue for 10 minutes. Okay.
ఓకే మ్యామ్.
Then the next one is the figure and ground phenomena. Figure and ground organization. This is the most basic form of perceptual organization. Here the concept is we group sensations into figures, objects that stand out, or grounds. The planar background. Here the key differences are figure, ground. It has a definite shape, appears in front, and is more meaningful, memorable. And ground means here relatively shapeless, unformed material that extends beyond the figure. And reversible images in some cases, like the vase or two faces drawing, the figure and ground can swap back and front. Yeah. Fundamental concept here is the thing you are looking at, it is focused your attention, that is a figure, and the ground is everything else, it is backdrop that supports the figure. And the key differences at a glance. Gestalt principles of perceptual organization. So Gestalt psychologists and others have believed that the brain has an innate capacity to organize perceptions into good forms. So here the points includes proximity, similarity, closure, and continuity. So stimulus close together in a space are seen as a group. That is a proximity. These are the important points, Ma, you can note down.
ఓకే మ్యామ్.
Proximity means here stimulus close together in a space are seen as a group. So in your book, it has given the figures also. For every subheading, there is a figure.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
So while seeing that figure, you can understand better, it says. And similarity means elements similar in structure are grouped together. And closure, we mentally fill up in the gaps to see an incomplete figure as a whole. And continuity means here we perceive objects as following the smoothest, most continuous path. So here, proximity, I can give an example. That is a closeness. Proximity is nothing but closeness. Stimuli close together in space are seen as a group. The law of proximity states that objects that are physically close to each other are perceived as a single unit or a group. The real world example is if you see two people walking side by side. Okay? Two people are walking side by side. You assume that they are together as a couple or friends rather than two strangers who happens to be the same space.
Yes.
తెలిసిన వాళ్ళు ఫ్రెండ్స్ కానీ లేకపోతే కపుల్ గానీ అని అనుకుంటాం. వాళ్ళు స్ట్రేంజర్స్ అని మాత్రం అనుకోం. They are walking together. And visualizing it, 6 vertical lines spaced equally look like 6 lines, but if you put them in pairs of 2 with wider gaps between the pairs, you perceive 3 columns. Okay, that is visualizing by that. And similarity in this is elements similar in structure are grouped together. Then the next point is similarity, that is a sameness. They are same to each other. The law of similarity suggests that we naturally group elements that look alike. This could be based on shape, color, size, or texture. And a real world example I can give for this also. At a football game, you can easily tell the two teams apart because of the similarity of their jersey colors. They are wearing the same color t-shirts. Even when the players are all mixed together on the field. Visualizing it in this grid of circles, if one row is colored red and the next is blue, you will perceive horizontal rows rather than single mixed blocks. And the next one is the closure. Closure means filling the gaps. Closure means nothing but filling the gaps. The law of closure is your brain. Autocomplete function. When we see a figure that has gaps or is missing parts, our mind mentally fill in the blanks to create a complete enclosed object. So for one example is that a neon sign with one broken bulb doesn't stop you from reading the word. Your brain closes the letter so they can still make sense. If one letter is missing, we can understand what it is. We can fill that letter and we will read. And visualizing it as think of IBM logo or a dashed line circle. You see the letters and the circle even though they aren't solid lines. And continuity is we perceive object as filling the smoothest, most continuous path. And the fourth one here in the principles of perceptual organization is continuity. Continuity means a flow. The law of continuity states that our eyes prefer to follow the smoothest path. Once our eyes begin following direction rather than making sharp, abrupt turns. And for example, on a map, if two highways cross each other, you naturally perceive them as a two long, continuous roads intersecting rather than four separate roads meeting a center point. Okay, and visualizing it, an X shape is perceived as two long diagonal lines crossing, not as V shape touching at the tips. So we visualize as a X shape roads.
Yes.
Okay, proximity, similarity, closure, and continuity we have covered. Then we are moving to the depth perception.
Yes.
How do we see 3D space when the image on our retina is only 2D? The great mystery of vision is this: your eyes are like cameras that take flat 2D photographs on your retina, yet you live in a 3D world computer using specific clues to calculate depth and distance. So that is a monocular cues, one eye. So these are cues that work even if you have one eye closed. Artists use these same tricks to make a flat canvas look like a deep landscape. Interposition is here. When one object partially blocks another, the blocked object is seen as far more away. చాలా దూరంగా ఉన్నట్టుగా కనిపిస్తుంది మనకి.
Yes.
And here interposition is overlap. This is the simplest cue. If object A partially covered object B, your brain instantly knows object A is close. It's a layering effect. Linear perspective. Then the next one is a linear perspective. Parallel lines like railroad tracks. Parallel lines అంటే మనం మామూలుగా థింక్ చేయగానే ఏమొస్తుంది? రైల్వే ట్రాక్ గుర్తుకొస్తుంది మనకి.
Railway tracks.
Appear to converge in the distance. Linear perspective is parallel lines like roads or train tracks seem to get closer together, converse as they get further away. The point where they meet is the horizon. Texture gradient. Closure surfaces look rough, detailed. Distance one look fine, smooth. మనకి దగ్గరగా చూస్తే తెలుస్తుంది ఎంత రఫ్ గా ఉన్నాయి అనేది.
Yes.
దూరంగా ఉన్నవి చాలా స్మూత్ గా కనిపిస్తాయి. మన తెలుగులో ఒక సామెత ఉంది కదా, తెలుగులో ఒక సామెత కూడా ఉంది. Have you striking that one?
No, no.
దూరపు కొండలు నులుపు అంటారు.
దూరపు కొండలు.
దూరం నుంచి చూస్తే చాలా స్మూత్ గా ఉన్నాయి నులుపు. Then texture gradient. Think of looking at a pebbled beach right at your feet. You can see every crack and shadow in the stones. Rough detail. Far away, the stone blend in a single smooth being blur. Then comes the binocular cues. That is two eyes. We are seeing with two eyes. Retinal disparity. The difference between the images from each eye helps the brain calculate distance. ఎంత డిస్టెన్స్ ఉందో మనం తెలుసుకోవచ్చు టూ ఐస్ తోటి చూస్తే కనుక. Here binocular cues means 3D movie cues. These require both eyes to work because your eyes are about 2.5 inches apart They see the world from slightly different angles. Retinal disparity. Your brain receives two slightly different feeds. Then closure objects means like having high disparity. The images are very different. Hold your thumb to in front of your face and blink between eyes. It jumps a lot. You can take this example. Closure objects and distance objects like have low disparity. The images are nearly identical. Look at the distant tree and blink. It barely moves. The brain's job is here. Your brain calculates the math of this difference to tell you exactly how far away an object is. This is why it's harder to catch a ball with one eye closed. You can't catch a ball with one eye closed.
Yes.
Then now we are moving to the next one. Perceptual consistencies. This is our tendency to perceive object as stable and unchanging despite changes in the sensory image. And the points will come under this are like size consistency, shape consistency, and brightness, color consistency. So here brain perceptual consistencies. Perceptual consistencies is nothing but brain's autocorrect. Perceptual consistency is one of the most brilliant things your brain does. It is the ability to maintain stable perception of an object even when the raw data hitting your eyes changes completely. Without this, the world would be terrifying, shifting, nightmare, whether objects would seem to grow, shrink, and change shape every time you moved your head. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am, you're audible.
So here size consistency means we didn't think a car is shrinking as it drives away, even though its image on our retina gets smaller. That is a size consistency. And shape consistency means a door is perceived as a rectangle even when it swings open, and its retinal shape becomes a trapezoid. And brightness and color consistency means a white paper looks white in both bright sunlight and a dim room also. There is no color consistency. White means white only we are seeing there.
Yes.
So here logic is your brain calculates the distance. It knows that distance plus retinal image size, that is the actual shape. For example, if you watch a plane take off, it eventually look like a tiny speck in the sky.
Yes.
You don't think it has turned into a toy. You perceive it as a huge machine that is simply very far away.
Yes.
Toy anayithe manam adukonukom kada.
Yes, yes.
It's a
Because of the
big
distance, it becomes small.
yeah. Then we are moving to the shape also, it's there. We perceive the true shape of a familiar object regardless of the angle from which we view it. And the logic is here, even though the retinal image changes from a rectangle to a trapezoid to a thin line, your brain maintains the idea of the object permanent shape. For example, look at a door. When it's closed, it's a rectangle. As it swings open, the image hitting your eyes becomes a distorted trapezoid. Yet you never see the door changing shape. You see the rectangular door opening. And brightness and color. Okay. We perceive object as having consistent color or brightness even when the light condition changes. The wavelengths reacting our eyes. And the logic is here, our brain compares the object to that things around it. If the whole room gets darker, the brain subtracts the darkness to keep the object color consistent. For example, for this is a red apple looks red at high noon in the sun and red in the dimly light kitchen at night. Even though the actual light reflecting off the apple is totally different, your perception of readiness stays the same. Okay, now we are moving to illusions and hallucinations. Perceptual distortions. These are all perceptual distortions. When our perception fails to match reality, illusions means misinterpretation of actual sensory information. Seeing a rope and thinking it's as a snake in the darkness. This is an example of illusion.
Illusion.
Okay, stimulus
Yes.
is there in the form of rope.
Rope.
We are imagining it as a snake in the
Snake.
darkness.
It's a misinterpretation.
Misinterpretation. Okay, and Muller-Lyer illusion, one experiment will conduct in the psychology laboratory.
Okay.
Lines with arrows and the moon illusion. That is one most suitable example for the illusion.
Okay, ma'am.
Muller-Lyer illusion, one experiment is there.
Okay.
When you are coming for the practicals, no, that time you can
Yes.
observe that one.
Okay, ma'am.
Then comes the hallucinations, false perceptions that occur without any actual external stimulus. For example, hearing voices when no one is speaking. Here in illusion, stimulus is there, that is the rope, right?
Yes.
Here, stimulus will not be there in hallucinations. That is the difference between the illusions and hallucinations.
Okay.
So, what kind of disorders you can observe? Any idea, ma'am?
Hallucination. Ma'am, schizophrenia. People with
Yeah.
schizophrenia, they hallucinate. And people on certain drugs, they also hallucinate. Yes.
Good, good. Shall I move
Yes,
to
yes,
the
ma'am.
next slide?
Yes, yes. Ma'am.
Yeah. So factors influencing perception. Our perception is not purely objective. It is shaped by needs and motives. A hungry hungry person is more likely to notice food items on the menu. And perceptual set is our mental predispositions or expectations to see one thing and not another. And the cultural factors include our upbringing and environment influence how we organize the world. For example, Africans in dense forests versus Western urbanities. Okay, by this we have covered even perception also.
Yes.
Yeah. Is it okay, ma'am, or
It is okay, ma'am. It is okay.
So tomorrow we'll discuss only on one topic.
Okay, ma'am.
That is emotions. Emotion also very small one.
Okay.
And otherwise we will see like tomorrow we will complete emotions and as well motivation also. On
Okay.
28th you can ask doubts if you are having
Doubts.
any doubts
Sure.
so that we can clarify.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am, I have one more doubt. Today around 4 p.m., I received a call from the office, from the college office, ma'am. She said there is a practical session today. Hello.
Who said?
Somebody from the office, some lady called me today. ఈ రోజు ప్రాక్టికల్స్ ఉన్నాయి, సాయంత్రం ప్రాక్టికల్స్ ఉన్నాయి, సైకాలజీ ప్రాక్టికల్స్, మీకు తెలుసా అంటే నేను మీరు ఫస్ట్ సెమిస్టర్ గురించి మాట్లాడుతున్నారా, ఇది ఫస్ట్ ఇయర్ ఫస్ట్ సెమిస్టర్ అని చెప్పాను తనకి. ఐ థాట్ షీ గాట్ కన్ఫ్యూజ్డ్. సో ఇది ఫస్ట్ ఇయర్ ఫస్ట్ సెమిస్టర్ నేమ్ ఐ డిడ్ నాట్ ఈవెన్ ఆస్క్ ఎనీథింగ్. అండ్ తర్వాత తను కూడా కన్ఫ్యూజ్ అయ్యారేమో తెలియదు. బట్ నా నేమ్ అయితే అడిగింది, అమృత అంటే ఎస్ అన్న. కంటిన్యూ చేస్తున్నారా సైకాలజీ అంటే ఐ సెడ్ ఎస్. ఈ రోజు ప్రాక్టికల్ అంటే లేదు, ఈ రోజు యాక్చువల్లీ ఆన్లైన్ క్లాస్ ఉంది అని చెప్పాను.
Actually, no practical classes now.
Okay, okay. Maybe she got confused with the online classes or something.
Yeah. Just I want to take one peek.
Okay, ma'am. And ma'am, there is another student who joined yesterday. She took my number. ఇంట్లో ఏదో ప్రాబ్లమ్ ఉంది, సో షీఈ్ నాట్ ఏబుల్ టు జాయిన్ ది క్లాసెస్ ఆన్లైన్ అని చెప్పింది. బట్ ఫర్ ప్రాక్టికల్స్ షీ విల్ అటెండ్ అని చెప్పింది మ్యామ్.
Okay. Yeah, for theory classes there is no mandatory for this.
Yeah, for practical she said she'll come.
It's mandatory.
Okay.
And 4 days you have to come to the university and you have to attend the practicals. Even if you are absent for 1 day, even single day, you have to attend in the next batch. Okay. Then only you are eligible for writing your practical examination. And for that you have to write one record also. Even Narasimha sir has explained, I think, all this.
Yes, he did ma'am. So approximately ఎప్పుడు ప్రాక్టికల్స్ ఉంటాయి మ్యామ్? ఇప్పుడు